Most people assume Amish women either don't use modern period products at all, or that they're completely forbidden from things like that. Growing up in it, I can tell you both of those assumptions are misleading. Hi everyone, it's Sarah. I grew up Amish in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and left the community about 6 years ago. Some of what we actually used will probably surprise you, and the answer isn't a simple yes or no. What Amish women use depends on tradition, convenience, and something most people never even think about, which is how information and products actually reach a community that's intentionally separated from the outside world. Quick thing before I get into it, Amish communities are not all the same. There are hundreds of settlements across the US and Canada, and even within one county there are different church districts with their own rules called the Ordnung. So what I'm sharing is my experience, Lancaster County Old Order Amish specifically. A woman from an Amish settlement in Ohio or Indiana might tell you something a little different. I still remember my mom tossing a pack of pads into the cart at the drugstore like it was nothing. Nobody blinked, nobody whispered. In my family, that was completely normal. A lot of people picture Amish life as everything handmade from scratch. Nothing store-bought, nothing modern. That's not accurate. We shopped at regular stores, Walmart, the local pharmacy, the grocery store. Menstrual products were treated as a basic health need, not some modern luxury that clashed with our faith. The Amish are selective about technology, especially electricity in the home, cars, and things like phones and internet. And that selectiveness is really about protecting family closeness and slowing down the pace of life. It was never about refusing basic hygiene. Now, period panties specifically, the reusable absorbent underwear brands that blew up online in the last several years, that's newer, and honestly, most Amish women I knew growing up had never heard of them. Not because they're banned, but because nobody's marketing to us that way. There's no Instagram ads reaching an Amish household, no TikTok explaining period care. Information spreads through women talking to women, sisters, mothers, aunts, at quilting circles, or over dishes after supper. If a product hasn't made it into that word-of-mouth chain, it just isn't on anyone's radar yet. What we did use, and this part is real, is homemade cloth pads. Every Amish household has fabric lying around since most women sew their own clothes and quilts. Reusable cotton or flannel pads made from scraps have been around for generations, long before any branded reusable product existed. In a strange way, Amish women were doing sustainable, reusable period care decades before it became trendy for English women. That's what we call non-Amish people. English. It was never marketed or sold as some eco-friendly innovation. It was simply what you did with what you had on hand. I remember my older sister showing me how to fold and pin one of those cloth pads when I was around 12, right around when I got my first period. My mom explained it very matter of fact, no big dramatic talk, just here's what's happening to your body, here's how you handle it, here's how you wash it out after. It felt more like learning to cook or sew than some emotional milestone. As disposable pads got cheaper and easier to find at stores, a lot of us shifted toward buying those instead, especially the younger generation, because with big families and farm chores, less laundry just makes life easier. So today it's really a mix. Some women, especially older or more traditional households, still use homemade cloth pads. Others buy the same drugstore pads anyone else would. Tampons are less common in the more conservative communities, partly due to modesty norms and partly just tradition, though again, this shifts a lot depending on the district and the individual family. As for period panties as an actual branded product, from what I know and from talking to women I grew up with, it's just not really on anyone's radar yet in most Amish communities. To my knowledge, there's no general Amish religious rule specifically banning period underwear, though practices can vary quite a bit between communities. If a woman found out about them and liked the idea, nothing in the faith itself would stop her from trying them. It's really about isolation from consumer trends more than any actual restriction. I want to clear up something I see a lot in the comments too. Periods are not treated as some shameful secret in Amish culture. We're modest, meaning you don't talk about bodily things in mixed company or in front of men, but between women, mothers and daughters, sisters, it's open and practical. Girls need to know what's happening to their bodies, so it gets talked about plainly. Doing laundry day in our house meant hauling water, using the wringer washer, hanging everything out on the line no matter the season. Even without electricity running through most homes, water heating and laundry systems are well established, using wood stoves or propane. So washing cloth pads or clothing during your period was just folded into the regular household routine, not some primitive struggle people sometimes picture when they imagine Amish life. So to bring it back to the actual question, do Amish women use period panties? The honest answer is mostly not yet, simply because that specific product hasn't reached most communities the way it's reached the mainstream world. But there's nothing in the faith that would stop it from happening. If anything, the reusable, low-waste, homemade approach we already grew up with is very close in spirit to what period panties represent. We just used fabric and pads we made ourselves instead of a branded product with a name on it. What surprised you most about this? Did anything in this video change what you thought you knew about Amish life? I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments, and if you want, I can make a follow-up video about how Amish women handle pregnancy and childbirth, since that's another topic I get asked about constantly, and there's a lot of misinformation floating around about that one too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.